everybody.
Welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans.
Day late, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Yes.
I was out of town.
Yes.
So we totally forgot last week to intro ourselves. So I'm Liz, and on Instagram and Ravelry, I'm Toolizzforyou, Toolizzforyou. Daylight savings time really screwed me up.
It's very hard. Well, we ended up not going to church because it was raining like crazy and my knee was bothering me. So obviously I'm going to be able to tell weather with my knee for a while. Anyway, I'm Carolyn, cpredmor on Ravelry. And on Instagram, I usually post as Knitting in Our Jeans. Sometimes I remember the -C and sometimes I don't.
Which is fine.
Which is fine, yes. And that's who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a Ravelry site that I need to update massively because I don't think I've done it for a couple weeks. In fact, maybe 3 or 4 weeks.
Oops.
So, yes. Oh, look, my mitts are coming along.
They are.
This is exciting.
Yes. I have been working on them as my little project that I've been carrying around because my big project is taking up all of my time when I am at home or on larger travelable
when you're in larger spaces.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I've been busy.
Yes.
I have been working on my wool and honey.
It looks phenomenal.
We had a slight miscommunication with the colors.
Yes.
And so the sleeve comes down to here. Had I really understood what was being said to me, I would have waited to get down to here with the very light and then started the next color as I changed to the body because now I'm already in third. So I had this much left, a very healthy ball, of the lightest color. Not so much left of the second color.
You're going to have to do those two at a time.
Yes. Well, I'm going to pull them. I'll just separate the yarn.
Okay.
Equally. But yes, I plan to do my 2 at a time. It's easier that way. That way you know they're the right size.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, this is what I will start my sleeves with. Whoop. To join here.
Mm-hmm.
But then what we're talking about is then immediately going into this or waiting to see how much of this I have left over because the pattern, going back to the pattern, see the pattern? It says that this sweater should be done at 8 inches below the armhole. I'm not comfortable with that. That means my belly is going to end up showing, and it means I'm going to be cold. So I'm going to do a sweater that's twice as long so that I have at least 16 inches here and then the ribbing. So I've got this, which says B.
As a hem.
I have no idea what B was, but I have B.
It was in a kit.
Must have been. So I have this as a possible hem. It's a 2-inch hem for ribbing for the body of the sweater. And I could save some of it just for like some edges around the cuffs. Yeah, something like that. So I will then have this. So my sleeves will go like this, this, and maybe this.
Maybe.
Or maybe this.
We'll see.
We'll see. The body of the sweater, this is my third color, which isn't looking a whole lot different in the sweater than this, and yet in the ball it looked very different, as you can see. And those colors are pretty much true. So I don't know what's going on there. And this is my next color. And yes, there is some sparkle in it, and I'm okay with that. Someone yesterday was saying, you know, there's sparkle in that. And I went, really? Oh my goodness. Of course I knew there was sparkle in it, and I'm really getting excited about starting it. So after we finish podcasting tonight, I am going to wind this up so it's ready. And then I will probably also wind this up so it's ready because I'm going to be leaving. We're blowing this popcorn stand on Saturday morning, and my partner here is going to take me to the airport.
Yes, I will.
Very early.
Yes.
Because both she and I like to be at the airport very early.
Within at least an hour of the boarding time.
I like to be there 2 hours ahead.
You're crazy.
I know, but I like it because I get nervous.
I know you do.
Because I'm only picking up about half of what goes on. It makes me very nervous.
I know. This is why you do better when you fly with other people.
I know, but your father is... I lost my lotion, that little thing of lotion that was up here. You know what I'm talking about? That little I have a big one.
The little one's under the piece of paper over there.
Oh, okay. I have 3 of these Lolo bars. Do I know where they are? I have no clue. But I'm glad we found this one.
Yep.
So that's nice. And I get the...
Plain Jane.
Plain Jane. I was going to call it nude. But that is great. My hands have been doing very poorly.
Yes.
So, anyway, so that's what's happening with my sweater. I think it's moving along really nicely. And I can tell you what helps. We had another discussion yesterday about how so few people in that group watch podcasts. And it didn't bother me in the least. I have a special life when I'm working at my husband's office. It's not like he's going to fire me. So I listen to podcasts.
Wow.
I listen to podcasts on my iPad. So I've got, one ear is occupied by my earbud and the other one I have open for the telephone. And he's slowing down anyway. So it's not like I'm chasing after patients all the time like I used to be doing 2 or 3 years ago. So I can watch podcasts like crazy. And we've talked about Escape to the Country, which is great. I haven't lost my love for Escape to the Country. But we now have Homes Under the Hammer, which is also a British show. And this is much more of an urban show where people are buying properties at auction. And I guess they must have been foreclosed upon, right? Which I don't know that we see that much here on Long Island, at least not that much. I think you'd have to, really start looking and pay attention because I'm sure there are foreclosure properties. Yeah. But anyway, these are homes that have gone up for auction. Someone buys them. If you're really good and do all your math right, then you don't pay over much. And you've already got fitted into your calculations how much you're going to have to spend to fix it up. You missed the one about it was in London proper. And they spent a total of $600,000. They bought the property for $300,000. They spent another $300,000, but they were going to sell it for $870,000.
Yeah.
They opened it up. It became this open living. The kitchen they did was fabulous. So high-end speculation, but it was in a neighborhood where it would support that so that other homes in the area were selling for close to the $900,000 mark. And there were 2 friends from college, one of whom does property management for some other company, and the other one owns a construction firm.
Yay.
Or has started his construction firm. So it was really very nice. They came in on budget, and they did spend a little bit more than they had planned, but it came in within what they had hoped. And so anyway, and I can, knitting English style, so with my throw method, I can sit here and I can just look ahead and I can watch my podcast and I just keep going. And the sweater pattern is just knit 1 row, purl 1 row. Now, again, if I had been thinking straight when I was working on this, I think that once I separated for the armholes, I would have gone into a straight stockinette stitch.
Stockinette?
Yes.
Okay.
Because then you just knit. This way you knit 1 row and you purl 1 row.
Right. But
which on circular needles I think is a little stupid. I think if you're going to do that, then why not do it on straight needles, knit each row, and then just seam it. To me that makes more sense. You can just build up a head of steam that way. And it gives the sweater more structure.
Good to know for when I want to do one.
Yeah. I would separate it. I would do it, front and back.
Front and back? I was thinking about just doing it and separating it at the back seam and just
just knit.
And just have the seam
knit
up
every
the back.
row.
Yeah.
Knit every row. So, no, but I like side seams. They help keep your sweater straight. So, meanwhile, I'm watching podcasts left, right, and center. So Homes Under the Hammer, and then when I run out of those, I'll go back to watching Escape to the Country, and then there's always Escape to the Continent. I love looking at all these houses, and I mean,
she's saying this is what she watches after she gets through her video podcasts by others that she watches.
Oh yeah, so. I watch the knitting podcasts. I'm watching Babbles Traveling Yarn. I'm watching Vollenvine, and I loved how Chris
Bears.
Bears. Bakery Bears, absolutely. And
there has been more than one weekend where I have woken up and I've heard them from where I've been, from the living room, and I'm like,
because they have live podcast. They have a live. They have a YouTube live once a month. Yes, the Bakery Bears. And there are others. There's lots of others that I look at. Yellow, Lemon,
Freakish Lemon.
Yes. Although she hasn't been podcasting lately. Apparently she's having a rough go. But yeah, there's a bunch. So I watch all kinds of things. It depends what my mood is like. But I can tell you, watching houses, I just go like a house of fire.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm getting a lot done. So as you can see, I've gone from barely covering this part to actually having this loose separation and about 4 inches. Yeah, that's 4 inches. 3.5, something like that. I think it's 4 inches. So 4 inches on a body. 12 more to go. I'm going to run through all of this. The plan is to run through all of this. So knit this till it's done, and then start this.
Okay.
Well, save enough of this so I can, fade it in. But that is the plan. So I can just keep knitting, just keep knitting. So yeah, I had fun at knit yesterday. That was a great deal of fun.
Mom was at knit for the Asylum Fibers trunk show, which is at knit for the rest of the week.
Until Saturday. Yes, I advise you to stop by. She's got some beautiful colors. And her color schemes generally go right along with what I normally knit. So, of course, this time I was looking to see if there was something in between this and this instead of going darker on this end. And that's not where her mind is at. So, just like me, she normally avoids the brownish beige-ish type of thing. So, but she's got some gorgeous pinks, purples, blacks, grays, greens, blues.
Yep. Everything under the sun.
Everything under the sun. Except this one shade that I'm looking for, but that's fine. It's great yarn. We certainly have had a lot of it. I've got some others over there.
I think I have 2 sweaters in stash right now, and I have 1 sweater I've knit.
Yes. So, I mean, love her wool. So that's great. So, yes, we heartily recommend going over to Knit in Roslyn and getting some of that Asylum Fiber colors. They're gorgeous.
Yeah. Speaking of knit, the Long Island Yarn Crawl is April 4th through 7th, which is about just under a month away.
3 weeks.
Online, you can print out your passport.
And you can see, I have printed 2 passports. So there you go.
Fantastic.
And they are doing a charity where you can knit hats anywhere from preemie size up to adult size. And they're going to the Ronald McDonald House for, I think it's cancer patients. But so you go and you print off your labels so that you say who it was made by, your name, email, and phone, because then if your hat is drawn out of a basket at one of the stores that you go to, and I think each of the stores has a basket, so you can make scores of these little hats and then drop them off at each. Make sure you've got your tag attached.
Yep.
And you may win something. I won a bag and some yarn and a book about what to do with one skein.
Oh.
Yes.
Good.
Yes, so that was very nice. And that was 2 years ago. Yes. And I wore my striped dress. That caused quite a sensation. And Stephanie of Asylum Fibers said that she's trying to think of a pattern using a big granny square. So if any of you remember my striped dress, it was a big hit. And I love it. I think if I were to make it again, I would make it in the red. And I would make it a size smaller. I would. But then I'm also, I think, getting smaller. I haven't been on a scale.
That's okay.
In 2 weeks, but I'm actually trying to behave myself. It is Lent, but in addition, it is my knee. So I think I'm doing well. I'll see at the end of Lent. You know, I'm not going to get on that scale.
Good. You're giving up the scale for Lent. Good.
Yes, giving up the scale for Lent.
Good.
Yes.
I am trying to do a workout today.
That's good.
I failed on Friday, but that's also because I was traveling.
You were traveling. You were
and
flying.
I also have been pretty good up until then. So everyone in my life.
Saturday and Sunday? Very good.
And today.
Oh, I am drinking your rose tea. Your English rose tea.
Very nice. Oh, and we were commenting on my hair earlier, how I've got a nice little white streak going on. And I was going to say how now I should just wear my hair back for the next few days at work so that anytime any of the guys make comments about having gray hairs, I'll be like, excuse me. Excuse me.
I think Cruella de Vil.
I think I win.
Yes.
Like, none of you have this big of a patch. Because I also have a small one over on this side that I think is hidden.
See, but at least yours comes from the front. Mine just kind of...
Yeah. Well, I've got a few. I've got a few that are patched in the back.
So, yes.
But this was the first section, and it's just gotten bigger and lighter.
Well, you can thank your father.
I do.
Yes.
I do. He really appreciates it when I walk up to him and I go, I hate you.
Because...
And he goes, why? And I point at it.
It could also be Grandma.
Yeah.
Nana had gray early.
Well, my favorite was last Christmas, one holiday where the three of us were all together, and he was standing, looking down on my head, and he goes, "Oh, look at that little white patch!" I was like,
Yeah, buddy.
I wonder who gave it to me, sir.
So I had my first 2 white eyebrows.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'm amused because I have a few of those.
Well, see, it doesn't come from my side of the family.
No.
Well, it could be my mom, but, not my father. My father didn't have gray hair up until the last, 3 years?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
But Nana's had white hair almost the entire time I've known her.
Yeah, she gave up dyeing it. So she started dyeing relatively early because she had very dark hair. My father had dark hair too, but for some reason he didn't go gray very early.
No.
Whatever. But
yeah. Yes, we know. We know I have a silver streak.
And some of our yarn is still at knit.
Yes.
Because I saw it. And one of the ladies, thank you very much, said that she had bought some to make a shawl. So that was really very nice.
Wonderful.
Yes, but I didn't say much about it because it really was Stephanie's event. Yes.
The other thing to make note of is that each of the stores is having a knit along with both a crochet and a knit shawl. If you buy yarn from any one of the shops, you can enter it back in at that shop.
At the yarn crawl date.
During the yarn crawl weekend.
Yes.
It needs to be completed by yarn crawl weekend, so if you want to participate, go and get some yarn.
Smuggler's Cove is the name of the pattern.
Is the name of the knit pattern.
Right.
I don't recall what the crochet one is.
Well, I got the knit one. But yes, there are 2. 1 crochet, 1 knit. You can get to it, I believe, from the Long Island Yarn Crawl homepage.
It's Blurre, BLURR for crochet.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something to be aware of.
Yes.
Maybe if you happen...
I thought about getting some of Stephanie's darker yarn and then mixing in it some of this stuff that I have from my advent calendar, but
you want to get the sweater done.
I want to get the sweater done, and I have another sweater that I'm going to take on the boat with me, so I'll talk about that later. So what do you want to talk about?
I've been working on the Tacit Mitt and my Shfty.
Oh, I love it.
So
I love those colors.
My Shfty. It's just difficult to get on because of my glasses. There we go. So my Shfty is currently 2 pattern sections. Mom, you want to help me? Does it? I think it fits.
Well, it's riding up in the back just like mine was, so eventually you're going to have to just figure, there.
I think it fits. I think
it's great. What size are you making?
Custom.
Custom.
Because I had gauge issues.
I remember that.
Yes. So I have 4 more rows of a big blip section and then a little blip and a big blip section, and then I go and I separate for the sleeves. Or I separate the arms. And I am going to go, I think, with the amount of stitches she has for her sleeves, just so that it's a big enough sleeve. All else fails, I can decrease it down quickly. I can do some quick decreases.
Yes, you can do that. Only you don't want to decrease too fast, because that's what I found sometimes makes that leg of muffin.
Right, but I want to. But I figure I'll do the bigger sleeve, just because I've noticed some of the sweaters have smaller arms.
We have big arms,
and I have big arms, and I've been working out, so I mean, I've got.
Look at that muscle. She's got a muscle. My God,
I do.
You can see it.
So that's just in preparation. I figured out the math to do that.
Good.
So I have 26 more rows until that point, and then I separate for the sleeves. I think I'm going to continue with this first ball of main color until that point, and then I'm going to stripe the main color by section with a new skein, just so that I don't get a hard line.
Oh, you think you'd get a hard line with all those different colors?
Yeah, if you look at the skeins, there's a bit of a line. Okay. But I don't know if you all can tell, but there are 2 colors. I do have a first coordinate contrast color and a second contrast color started. I don't know. It's
I can't tell.
I know. I
love it.
Because I've been working with it so much. But it's so weird and I love it. I got so many compliments this weekend while I was working on it, so like that's very exciting.
What did you do this weekend?
I went to Pittsburgh and I saw the boyfriend and we hung out with a bunch of his friends.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Very nice. So they were the ones making comments about the sweater.
Yes.
I didn't know whether there were any parties or whatever.
I mean, yeah, we went to a party or 2.
Good.
That his friends had. Yeah. There was a Bob Ross painting party.
Oh no!
It was fun.
Bob Ross.
It was fun, but
let's make some happy little trees.
Yes, I did not paint. I don't have it because it didn't fit in my bag and I didn't want to squish it. My painting was not as much in the style of Bob Ross as everyone else's, but you know what? I still painted. I mean, I was this close to doing a knit pattern, to doing either a cross stitch like little X's and making a pattern that way, or it was bad. I'm not the most creative in the drawing capacity. So that's what I was working on. Okay. I'm trying to find, because I have some acquisitions, if you don't have anything else that you want to talk about.
Let's see. I had thought about incorporating these 2 into my sweater, but we've decided that they won't go. So
I mean, this one would have gone, but it would have had to have gone earlier. And
this one might have gone at some point. If it was this.
With
this, that would have gone.
Yeah, maybe.
But, so. And then I did one more row on this. Mm-hmm. Help. So.
Lovely.
Did one more row, and now there's a pattern that starts. So I'm actually going to work like crazy on my Andrea Mowry. And then we will go back to that. But, so should I take that with me? Or should I take this with me?
What is that? What is this?
This
is the cotton?
Is the cotton
linen.
You
should do the cotton linen. You should do the cotton linen.
So, I will bring my cotton linen, which is done with 2 skeins of yarn. One that is this, which I think is silk. No, this is linen. And then this is cotton. This is cotton? No, they're both linen. This is my linen. And it's held double to get this. So I'm taking this on the boat with me, and I didn't pack it because I wanted to tell you all I was doing that. So that I will take with me. And I really don't think I'm going to take anything else. I think just these two is sufficient. Normally I take about 3 or 4 things.
Yes.
And only work on 1 or 2.
Right.
So we're not going to do that.
Good.
Yes.
Well, I've signed up for a test knit because I'm crazy. Yes, it's a shawl. And it's going to be these held together.
Nice.
So this is a lace. Will be held together with this sport weight.
Uh-huh.
And it's a triangular shawl. It's by Julia of Pandia's Jewels. And it's really pretty. So I'm very excited about that. I have to wind these up before I go home.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, if you're winding, you can wind this.
I was going to.
That. Thank you.
I was going to.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think you just knocked your charger out. There you go.
Okay. Well, we had power.
Yeah. So that's going to be the test knit. It's out of Malabrigo Arroyo, which is a sport weight in Aguas, and Sweet Sparrow Yarns Pipit in the colorway Sage.
So are those 3 different colors?
No.
I see. Those are 2 of the same.
2 of the same.
So you're going when you're knitting, you're just holding 1 of these and 1 of those.
But I need 2 of these.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So you're not doing a Smuggler's Cove either.
No.
I could just knit faster.
Yeah, I know. I wish.
I know that people say you can knit faster going continental, but I have to watch what I'm doing. Whereas this way, you can see that I'm watching you. And I can just feel what I'm doing. So I'm going to be as fast as I can with throwing, and we'll just give up the rest.
That's a reasonable thing.
That works. So I'm within 2 months. 2.5 months. 2 months? 2 months and a week of being my last... Well, not really my last day. I'm going to be 3 weeks on campus in the fall.
Exactly.
But
you're technically teaching 2 classes next semester, right?
I know,
you haven't added the 3rd yet?
No, I've been told I'm not going to get the 3rd because that would make me full-time.
Oh.
And that would make me expensive.
Oh.
And I said, works for me because then the MBA class is only 7 weeks. So after 7 weeks, I've only got 1 class.
That's not bad.
Which is great. And then in the spring, I've just got the MBA class.
Not bad.
So that's fine.
So we're easing into retirement.
Yeah.
In this
and
household.
Of course, all of you know that adjunct pay is pitiful. It's something like $3,500 per class. But, it's pin money at least.
At least.
That's fine. We'll figure all this stuff out. I've got to join AARP so we can get insurance. And it's interesting because... really, Medicare pays for everything that my regular health insurance pays for now, except for drugs. And they don't pay for drugs. So you can get a drugs policy. And then you can also then get a...
And by drugs, she means prescribed medication.
Right. And there's plenty that I take. I mean, it's not over much, but normal amount, like Lipitor and Nexium and all that other kind of stuff. But then, if you don't really want to worry about deductibles and stuff like that, you can get basically Medigap insurance through AARP, which is, I think, what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to join AARP, I guess, as soon as we finish this podcast.
I guess so.
And then I can start...
researching.
No, we've already done the research. We pretty much know which policies. I just have to do it. I have to call them and make sure when do I sign up because I'm covered by my work until September 1st. So September 1st, I want to have the policies ready to rock and roll. And then your father is going to try to figure out what he wants to do. I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
Interesting, there's a drugs plan that's Walgreens. And I think that's really cute. And we would do that if we were going to stay in the United States all the time. But since we're going to be sailing, and some part of that time will be, well, some of it will be in the Florida Keys, which is obviously still in this country, and I'm sure they probably have Walgreens down there. But some of the time will be in the Caribbean, and there aren't any Walgreens down there. There's no Walgreens that I could find on St. Thomas, which is a U.S. protectorate, not a state, but a protectorate, but there's no Walgreens.
Oh, well.
And then the other thing, you're going to be here Friday night.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I don't pick you up. You need your car.
Right.
Right. Okay. Just checking. And then you'll take me to the airport. So then I don't have to worry about the car. And then you'll pick us up.
Correct.
Monday night-ish. Great. We'll figure this out.
I think it's already in my calendar.
Oh, that would be lovely.
I think.
You can tell I get a little...
Yes.
I usually print out 6 different boarding passes or 6 boarding passes of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I tend to get lost and found again. You know...
Yes, it's in here twice, even.
Oh, cool. Okay, so you've got it. Good.
Yeah.
So anyway, can you tell that I'm just like that spring fever?
Oh, yeah, you do.
I've got spring break fever. The kids in my classes are like losing their minds, and I'm losing mine too. So tomorrow night will be fun. I'm going to be a judge at our Innovation Challenge.
Oh!
Yes. This has been going on for 8 years. And we missed last year because we had gotten, well, first of all, our dean had a medical issue. And secondarily, we were working on getting some really good funding. And so now, instead of the group, total prizes for before were $500 total. $250 for one group that did entrepreneurship and $250 for another group that did social entrepreneurship. This year, the prize total is $5,000. Yes. So we've got, I think, 8 or 9 different companies, student companies, that will be competing. And one of the other members of the panel is an alum who I've been trying to get to come on campus for 4 years.
Oh, my goodness.
So I'll be very happy to introduce myself to him and see if he would come back on campus and speak to our students, because he is an entrepreneur and he is one of the partners at Gun Hill Brewery, which is maybe a mile from school.
He came a few years ago.
No, he was supposed to come a few years ago and never made it.
Who was the brewery who did come?
They were down on City Island. They were City Island beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Gun Hill, I think, also has a tasting room.
Ah.
So they have a facility very close by. City Island was actually making their beer upstate and then selling it out of City Island.
I see.
Yes. So anyway, that will be fun tomorrow night. Of course, I'll be getting home by about 11 and getting up at 5 to go back to work. Wednesday is going to be rough, but I don't have to teach Wednesday night class anymore.
Woo!
The engineering class is over, and another thing I'm going to do when I finish this is I will be emailing the students their midterm grades, or not their midterm exam grades. Everybody passed.
Yay!
That was good. I think because their midterm grades actually came out before the exam, and so I had some very sad engineering students who hadn't turned in any work.
I'm an engineer. I got my degree. How do you not do your homework in engineering school? How? That's how you get like 50% of your grade.
They thought because I was a marketing professor that I didn't care. And so, yes, I managed
Did they not read the syllabus?
I failed 2.
Good job. Well done.
For midterm grades. Now, that's obviously not a permanent grade. And it doesn't include their midterm exam because of snow days. The midterm exam got pushed to the day after midterm grades were due. So one person, you're going to love this, he got a picture of a washing machine, and I sent him out to take pictures of odd angles and then come up with something new and exciting. He decided something new was a washing machine that would text you when it was done. I said, they've been doing that at Villanova for 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, great idea. I will tell you, it is a great idea, and it might be a new idea to you. But what you need to do is then go out and Google the idea and see if it is a brand new idea.
Because I had that at school.
Exactly. And you graduated.
Some odd years ago.
Yes. And it was there.
Oh, God, 7 years ago. Yeah.
Yes. And it was there when you first got there.
Yeah.
So I told him 8 years ago. And I said, you really have to Google these things. And that's why. And then he hadn't turned in anything else. I said, and that's why you got an F. He says, well, can I turn it in now? I said, yes, you can turn the work in now, but there will be points taken off because it's late. And I said, send it to me in an email. And I haven't looked at email all weekend, so he may have turned something in over the weekend. But
He may have.
He may have. I haven't looked. I will start looking at stuff tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow. We'll be dealing with it. Meanwhile, I have packed and then added more things. So I've taken over the landing.
I saw.
Yes. And Rachel, I'm using your bag. So thank you very much. I know that you were trying to clean out your apartment. And so as it is, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And I have packed that bag. I have not used all the pockets. I think you do that when you're not traveling by plane. I think by train or any place where it's not going to be under somebody else's control.
Yeah.
Those pockets would be amazing. I could take another 3 or 4 knitting projects in all those pockets. But that's going to be my checked luggage. And I have a lock for it. And in the middle of the night, I got up and went wandering around the house. I realized I needed to take some of my migraine medicine. So that's now piled on top. And then I realized, whoop, I need to take some of our sunflower butter. So that's now piled on top. I will go to the store and get some of our soy cheese. And I'll have that in my carry-on. I have my sailing gloves. Oh, and we found out that I can take my inflatable vest in the checked luggage. And I'm going to jump off the boat with my inflatable and test it because it is overdue.
Oh my God.
And we've ordered another canister. So,
but just for giggles, you're gonna...
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Please tell me you're gonna, like, make sure Dad videos this.
Oh, okay.
Because I need this in my life. I need it. I just need it.
What's nice is it's a nice, really slim, it's like 2.5 inches wide that comes around your neck, and it's strapped on, and then it's supposed to blow up like a Mae West. So I'm going to have fun jumping off the boat. And
I need a video of this so bad.
And hopefully it will inflate.
Hopefully.
If not, I'll just be swimming.
Yeah.
It will be fun.
I need a video of it. The entire situation.
So that ought to be great fun.
Yes.
So I'm expecting that canister to come by Wednesday. So that'll be nice. Good. You didn't tell Cheryl the reason why I wasn't at knit on Wednesday.
I said you were giving an exam.
Well, she didn't remember.
Oh, well, I definitely said it.
Oh, okay. She was, I guess, flustered.
Yeah.
Over a few things.
Yeah.
So anyway, what else? So yes, I'm going to jump off.
Well, I have acquisitions.
Oh, I want to see. From when?
From this past week.
Oh, did you buy anything in Pittsburgh?
No.
Oh.
No, we did not go to yarn stores this time.
Okay.
So, I got my random fandom from Nerd Girl, which is level 6, which is based on the show Killjoys, which I think is on Sci-Fi, which I haven't watched, but I've heard is very good. So,
that's
I think
a wonderful color. What
I know, isn't it great? Not sure yet, but it's fantastic. So, I haven't exactly decided what it's going to grow up to be, but it's pretty fantastic. It's on Bounce and Stomp, which is fingering weight.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah. Fingering weight. It's good for socks. It's good for almost everything. Then, so there is this blog called Yards of Happiness. And it's, I can't remember her name right now. But it's this woman who knits sweaters for herself and as well for her dogs.
Oh, how cute.
So
those are yarn balls.
Yeah. They're happy little yarn balls.
That's really nice.
So she made pins, and I got one because I wanted to support her, and also because her blog is really good, and I enjoy her Instagram. And they're just happy little yarn balls.
They are so cute.
And she's a big supporter of the fact that anyone can make a sweater if they want to, and you can make it with whatever supplies you have.
Absolutely.
No matter what the pattern says, or, no matter if it's a free pattern or a paid pattern, make what you want and make it how you want. And with whatever materials you can afford. The best you can afford.
Oh, and if anybody lives on Long Island and has spare yarn that you want to destash and you don't want to get paid for, you can take it to Knit, and she then donates it to the YH, not Young Men's Christian, Young Men's Hebrew Association. the Sid Jacobson.
Okay. I don't know what it is.
It's a YMCA that's up by Roslyn, but it's Jewish.
Oh, okay.
Had a Jewish beginning. I think they accept anybody. Anyway, there's a woman up there that has everybody knitting. And so I'm going to take that large garbage bag full of cotton.
Yes.
And I'm going to give it basically to the Sid Jacobson YMCA.
Good.
Or YMHA. So I'm very excited. So anybody who, and I was told that they make blankets. And they make blankets for a lot of different organizations and people. So they eat up yarn. So if anybody has yarn that you want to get rid of and you want it to go to a good home, take it by knit in Roslyn and you will be welcomed with open arms and your yarn will go to a good home. So I thought that was important to say. Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes. So whose exercises are you doing?
It's a Beachbody program.
Ah, yeah. Okay. I think I have to wait till my knee gets better.
Yes.
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 I had shots in my knee this morning.
Ah.
It's supposed to be long-acting cortisone. I think my head feels clearer already. Well, it's systemic.
Yeah, I know.
You know, so that works out quite well. Yeah. So I may not have to take much cortisone for the next month and a half.
Yeah. That'd be great.
So exciting.
That'd be super exciting.
To be able to breathe.
Yeah.
So what else is new? What else is going on over there? The one thing about being a monogamous knitter is that you don't have a whole lot to say.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating because I know Babbles, she's knitting 2 or 3 things and then she's weaving things. I feel like such a slug.
Well, we're trying. We have been those people in the past.
We have been, which is why I have all of these.
Exactly. Things. And if you look at my apartment, you see all of the stuff. And I mean, we're trying very hard to get these sweaters done for a specific event.
Yes. And then the other, both of those are whips. One that I ripped apart. Oh, today I found a really pretty pattern for the other cotton, the fingering. And
the speckles?
Yes. And I bought the pattern. It's by the same woman who did the Smuggler's Cove shawl. Because if you buy 4 patterns, one of them is free.
Oh, very nice. 5 for 4.
3 for 4.
Oh.
4 for 3.
4 for 3.
4 for 3.
What
Kate Hobson.
Okay.
Something like that. Anyway, if you find Smuggler's Cove, you put 4 in a basket, 4 in the cart, and you only pay the least expensive one then is off. All 4 of mine were $7, so instead of paying $28, I paid $21. And one of those sweaters is written for fingering weight cotton.
Nice.
And it's kind of like my kind of sweater. It's kind of like this. And yes, I dyed this yarn.
Yes. And
I forget what the pattern is. I'll put it in the down bar because we didn't look it up before we went on camera. But this is Neighborhood Fiber that we went down to their yarn dyeing class. And
one Sunday, one Saturday, one Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And help me, who's the dyer in Canada that we took a dyeing class with?
Sweet Georgia.
Sweet Georgia is now going to have a dyeing school, and she's in Canada. Apparently it's going to be a little pricey, but it's supposed to, we know how good her class was.
Yeah, her class was very good.
So I assume this is a week, and I know I was listening to Babbles Travel Yarn this morning, and she said she was thinking about, saving up her money to be able to go and do that, because really, she's just amazing.
Yeah, she's up in Vancouver area.
That would be a very interesting thing.
We could think about it.
We could think about it. We would have to be going into yarn dyeing whole hog.
Oh, yeah.
So we would have to do that after we sell this house and get into an apartment, I think.
Yes.
So that we know where we're going to be.
Your new space, at least.
Yes. Well, that's an apartment.
I mean, you're talking like condo.
Well,
not apartment.
Well, to me, it's all an apartment. You either pay rent or you own it, but it's the same kind of space.
Yes. So,
yes, condo. So, no, we're not going to be living full-time on the boat. I realized that there was no place for my yarn, which is very upsetting. This way, you can go up to my apartment and just send me shipments of my yarn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Instead of...
I would do this for you.
I know you will. I know you would. I know you would. So.
And you'll have keys to my apartment.
I will.
And I'm pretty sure my apartment will have a pool.
Believe me, I totally and wholeheartedly think this is a fantastic idea as long as I am still within driving distance.
My boat's going to have a bedroom for you.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So then we can both
appreciate it because whenever you mention this in front of Father, he goes,
well,
it's for us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sir.
It will have at least 2 bedrooms.
Also, sir, you have one child.
I know.
Who you get upset if I don't come home more than 2 weeks in a row.
Oh,
Sir,
yes. So anyway. So things are moving along. I'm coming to the end of my teaching this semester and won't be much on campus next semester, and I'm going to be part-time, so I'm cleaning out my office.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, so I'm trying to clean off one shelf at a time, and now that I've finished the engineering class, I can throw out all the creativity books. I'm just throwing things out left, right, and center. I'm having so much fun.
I bet.
I mean, I spent a ton and a half on those books, but it doesn't matter because they're not going with me.
No.
None of the stuff is going with me. So, just my yarn. All of this stuff is going to be in the new place, wherever that place is. And I think that's about it.
I do, too.
Because we need to start dinner.
And I need to keep working on that Shfty.
Yes, because we're going to wear these to Andrea Mowry.
Yes.
Well, I said that if need be, I'll wear this as a vest. But I think I'll get the sleeves done. Anyway, it's so good to see you all. We will probably do one of these on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see what my progress has been because we start calling this 4 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So anything over 4 inches will be my progress.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to take me to the airport early on Saturday.
All right, we'll see y'all later. Bye.